Her name etched into the record books last month. Emma-Jayne Wilson surpassing Hall of Fame jockey Julie Krone for all-time purse earnings by a female jockey last month. A massive accomplishment. And now she is just days away from competing in the King's Plate at Woodbine. Guess what? Joining me now is Emma-Jayne Wilson. Hi to you.
Hi, how are you guys doing?
We are doing great. First of all, a massive congratulations to you. I'm sure this last month has been a whirlwind. You've been getting a lot of media attention. What has the last bit been like for you?
It's phenomenal to get our game, horse racing, into the limelight a little bit more with not just things about, the King's Plate, but also about the equality that we show. So, I've taken a lot of pride in that to be able to showcase and show off what our game's capable of. It's been lovely.
We talk about equality. Julie Krone, who we mentioned there, who you surpassed, she's been quoted saying about you, she's a great female jockey, but the way I see it, she's a great jockey, period. So what does that mean for you to hear those words?
Well, Julie was a rider that I admired and I used to watch, when I was just dreaming this dream. So to hear such praise from, what we would consider a legend means so much to me. And when she says that about, she's not a female jockey, she's just a jockey, that's essentially been my motto my whole career. We shouldn't be judging jockeys based on their gender. We should be judging the jockeys based on their strengths and their weaknesses and their abilities, as you would any athlete, regardless of their gender.
You have a very impressive resume. I'd be remiss not to go through just some of the highlights. You started your career back in 2004, leading rider at Woodbine in 2005 as an apprentice, 2007, first female rider to win the Queen's Plate. The list goes on, over 1,900 wins. When people rhyme off these achievements to you, did you have these goals as you were going through the steps, or was it just a love for you?
I think in the early stages, the passion that it developed was just the love. It was the love of the horse. And I've been a competitor my whole life. So, take my love of horses and put them into competition. That's horse racing in general. But then as I developed and became, more focused on the possibilities of being successful, I did start that goals list, and those things were on the list. And there are many more to come. But, as athletes, that's what you have to do each and every year, each and every season. You take a step back, on the off season and take a better look at your plans and what your goals are, and I continue to add to that list, and I hopefully cross more off. And King's Plate is on that list, and I plan on crossing that off this weekend.
Oh boy, we're going to talk about that very shortly, but I want to ask you something about, as you mentioned here, we are getting your sport in the spotlight even more. More people reading about it, hopefully more people getting into it. You have twin 7-year-old girls. What do they think of mommy?
Oh, they're my inspiration. They're one of those things. I like to be a role model for everybody, but to be their role model for them and to see that connection every time they come to the track and and cheer me on. It opens up their mind and their understanding that anything is possible as long as they put their mind to it.
I love this. Any chance they want to get into this sport?
I think they enjoy the game. They're still young. They're still settling down as to what their passions are. So they do want to start doing some horseback riding lessons. Allergies has been a bit of a detriment to that, but that's all right. We overcome and we adapt. So, but right now their love has been watching the Euro Cup soccer with me. So that's been another thing, and arts and crafts, and how kids are. They want to take everything in, and that's where they're at right now.
They're sponges. That is the best part. All right, now let's talk about the weekend.
Absolutely.
King's Plate, you want to cross this one off your list again. What have you been doing when it comes to training? Let's talk about Joke Star as well.
Well, as a jockey, we ride countless races day in and day out. So this weekend, even though it's a big weekend and the main focus is the King's Plate, there are many other races on the card. So preparations for morning training, galloping and breezing these horses, these athletes, getting them ready. So every single time you throw a leg over one of them, they're aiming for a different race. Even some of the horses that I was on this morning, they're aiming for 2 weeks down the road, bigger races and whatnot. So that's, the preparations that the trainer of these animals animals, focuses in on. They're the ones that sort of garner that. We as the jockeys are hired in as the team member, and we execute the race itself. Sometimes we've been on those horses countless times. Sometimes it's once or twice. Jokestar, for example, I have only thrown my leg over him a couple of times. One of them being his last particular race in the plate trial. I got to know him a little bit more, and followed instructions with Mr. Kevin Attard with the goal being the King's Plate. I also had a chance to get on him a week ago for one of his final major preps for this, is what we call workers, or a breeze, which is a fast timed workout to execute education and fitness. So I've gotten to know him quite well. Al and Bill Uelling, the owners, are American based, but very, very big staunch supporters of Canadian racing. So I'm going to be flying my maple leaf nice and high, but hopefully we can get this done for those American owners as well. The King's Plate is Canada's horse race, and I plan on winning it for them.
The 165th running of the King's Plate held at Woodbine Racetrack on Saturday, August 17th. Emma-Jayne Wilson, congratulations again, and best of luck to you this weekend.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And I hope everyone comes out to enjoy the game that we all know and love. These animals are professional athletes that love their job, and there's nothing like being on the outside rail and seeing these animals fit and ready to go. There's no other thing like it.